Welcome to African Tales, where the rich cultural heritage of Africa comes alive through captivating stories, legends, and myths. I'm your elder storyteller, and tonight, we embark on a journey that will transport you to the heart of West Africa, where the stars tell ancient stories and the winds whisper secrets of old. Imagine a world where animals speak, and every shadow hides a story waiting to be told. A world where wit and wisdom are as valuable as gold, and even the smallest creatures can achieve great things. In this enchanted world lives Anansi, the legendary spider trickster, whose cleverness and daring have become the stuff of legend. Anansi is not just any spider. He is a master of deception, a weaver of tales, and a seeker of knowledge. His adventures are filled with laughter, danger, and the kind of magic that only the African night can bring. So sit back, relax, and let your imagination take flight under the shimmering African skies. Then let the tale begin, and let the spirit of Anansi guide us through a night of wonder and wisdom. In the heart of West Africa, where the forest whispers secrets to those who listen, Anansi was born. A small, cunning spider with big dreams. Raised in a humble web spun high in the branches of a sacred baobab tree, Anansi learned early on the importance of wit and cunning to survive. Anansi's mother was a storyteller, weaving tales as intricate as the webs they lived in. She always told him, "It's not the size of the spider, but the size of his mind." These words resonated deeply with young Anansi, filling him with a burning desire to become the wisest and most revered trickster in the land. From a young age, Anansi observed the world around him with keen interest. He watched the majestic lion rule with strength, the swift gazelle evade predators with speed, and the wise old tortoise navigate life with patience and knowledge. Anansi knew that while he lacked their physical prowess, he had something far more valuable, his intellect. With each passing day, Anansi honed his skills, using his wits to outsmart those much larger and stronger than himself. He tricked a bird into giving up a prized insect and cleverly escaped from a frog by using his web as a trap. These early victories were small, but they fueled Anansi's ambition and confidence. Word of Anansi's cunning spread through the forest. The other animals began to whisper about the small spider who could solve any problem and escape any danger. Anansi reveled in the attention, but he knew that to truly be remembered, he needed to achieve something extraordinary. Driven by his mother's words and his own desire for greatness, Anansi set his sights on the ultimate goal, to become the greatest trickster the world had ever known. And thus began his journey, the path filled with challenges, cunning plans, and encounters with the most remarkable creatures of the forest. And so, dear listeners, as the fire burns bright and the night deepens, let us follow Anansi's footsteps through a tale of wit, adventure, and the pursuit of greatness. The journey of Anansi, the legendary spider trickster, begins now. One day, while visiting his friend the tortoise, Anansi saw the most beautiful girl in the community. Her name was Akua, and she was known not only for her beauty but also for her wisdom. Captivated by her, Anansi's heart raced. He knew he had to win her love. With all his courage, Anansi approached Akua and proposed to her. Akua, intrigued by Anansi's boldness but skeptical of his sincerity, decided to test him. She set forth a series of challenges, promising to accept his proposal only if he could outwit all the non-intelligent animals in the community. Anansi's first challenge was to outwit the wise old tortoise. The tortoise, known for his slow but deliberate thinking, presented Anansi with a seemingly impossible riddle: "What can you hold in your right hand, but never in your left?" Anansi pondered the riddle, his mind racing. After a moment of deep thought, he smiled and replied, "Your left hand." The tortoise, impressed by Anansi's quick thinking, conceded defeat. With his first victory, Anansi's confidence grew. But Akua's challenges were just beginning. Next, Anansi had to outsmart the sly rabbit. The rabbit, known for his speed and cunning, set numerous traps in the forest to catch Anansi. But Anansi, with his sharp eyes and agile movements, managed to evade each one. Finally, Anansi challenged the rabbit to a race, knowing that speed was the rabbit's pride. As they raced, Anansi used a shortcut through the bushes, reaching the finish line fast and leaving the rabbit bewildered. With another triumph under his belt, Anansi continued to impress Akua, but the challenges kept coming. The next challenge was to fool the mighty elephant. Anansi knew he couldn't match the elephant's strength, so he had to rely on his wits. He convinced the elephant that there was a hidden treasure on the other side of the river. The elephant, eager for the treasure, agreed to carry Anansi across. Once they reached the other side, Anansi revealed that the treasure was a lesson in trust and humility. The elephant, though initially angry, couldn't help but admire Anansi's cleverness and agreed that Anansi had won the challenge. Anansi's next challenge took him high into the treetops to face the clever monkey. The monkey, known for his intelligence and agility, challenged Anansi to a game of riddles. Each riddle seemed more difficult than the last, but Anansi's quick mind never faltered. Finally, Anansi presented his own riddle: what walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? The monkey pondered and, unable to answer, conceded defeat. Anansi's victory over the monkey further solidified his reputation as the most cunning creature in the land. But Akua's final challenge was yet to come. The final challenge was the most difficult of all: to steal the Sky God's storybook. This book contained all the wisdom and stories of the world and was guarded by fierce warriors and hidden in the Sky God's realm. Anansi knew this task would require every bit of his wit and cunning. He spent days preparing, thinking through every possible obstacle he might encounter. Disguising himself as a humble storyteller, Anansi approached the gates of the Sky God's realm. The guards, fierce warriors with sharp spears and keen eyes, watched him suspiciously. But Anansi, with his charm and wit, began to tell them enchanting tales. His stories were so captivating that the guards couldn't help but listen, their attention slowly drifting away from their duties. With the guards distracted, Anansi saw his chance. He slipped past them and entered the Sky God's realm. The path to the storybook was fraught with dangers. Anansi found himself in a dense forest, where the trees themselves seemed to come alive, their branches reaching out to ensnare him. Anansi used his agility to dodge the grasping branches and continued deeper into the forest. Suddenly, he came upon a wide river, its waters churning violently. There was no bridge in sight. Anansi, using his quick thinking, fashioned a raft from nearby vines and leaves. He paddled across the river, narrowly avoiding the sharp rocks and swift currents that threatened to overturn him. Reaching the other side, Anansi found himself at the entrance of a labyrinth. The walls were high and the passages twisted and turned in every direction. Anansi knew that one wrong turn could lead him to a dead end or worse, a trap. He took a deep breath and entered the maze, his mind racing to remember each twist and turn. As he navigated the labyrinth, Anansi marked his path with a thread of silk, ensuring he wouldn't get lost. But the labyrinth was filled with hidden traps. Anansi had to be constantly on guard, avoiding pitfalls, swinging blades, and sudden drops. Each step was a test of his reflexes and intellect. Finally, after what seemed like hours, Anansi reached the center of the labyrinth. There, on a pedestal, was the sacred vessel containing the Sky God's storybook. Anansi's heart pounded with excitement as he approached. But just as he was about to grab the storybook, a loud voice boomed through the chamber. The Sky God, having anticipated Anansi's move, appeared before him. "So, you thought you could outwit me," the Sky God thundered. Anansi, taken aback, tried to escape, but it was too late. The sky god set a final trap, a magical net that ensnared Anansi, rendering him powerless. The sky god, in his wrath, decided to reduce Anansi's powers as punishment. He declared that Anansi would remain small and fragile, a creature so weak that even a child could trample upon it. And so, Anansi's failure to steal the storybook and the reduction of his powers explain why the spider is so weak today. And so, the tale of Anansi reminds us that wisdom and cunning are powerful tools, but even the cleverest among us must tread carefully and humbly. Sometimes, our ambitions can lead us into traps of our own making. Join us next time, dear listeners, as we delve into another enchanting tale under the moonlit African skies. Will it be the story of the brave lion, the clever monkey, or another adventure of Anansi? Until then, let the spirit of Anansi inspire you to think creatively and act wisely.